So we have been talking about social welfare, but there is another word which is also used interchangeably with social welfare, and that is social protection. There is a lot of overlap between the two. Social protection is broader as it focuses on vulnerability as well as the disadvantage and the disability. So why there is interest in social protection now? One reason is globalization. We look at other areas, other governments, they are working to help, for example, the elderly or the children. So there is pressure on the government to work for elderly and children in our country too. Democracy has forced government to be responsive to the people. So if more people are poor, if more people are, need government's help, government cannot win elections without doing something for them. Then there is the disastrous effects of structural investment programs of World Bank and IMF. So these programs were started in the 1980s, and they focused primarily on the economic side and didn't worry about the social welfare or social policy. This resulted in at least a generation loss in terms of education health benefits. And it took a long time for African and Asian countries to get over these disastrous policies which were forced over them. So World Bank and IMF realized that they have, while focusing on inflation targeting and focusing on economic growth and all these things, they have also to think about the lowest strata in the society, who are the most vulnerable. So if you are decreasing the number of civil servants, if you are decreasing the government budget, the development budget, if you are cutting down on health and social expenditures, if you are asking people to pay for their health expenditures or their school fees, the lowest strata of the society will suffer the most. So unless and until that strata is protected, the objectives, even in terms of economics, will not be achieved. So these were the areas, these were the reasons why social protection is more popular now, and even donor organizations like World Bank, IMF, ADB, DFID, USAID, they all talk about social protection. So according to FAO, which is Food and Agriculture Organization, there are three types of programs that come under social protection. One is social assistance. So government provides conditional or unconditional cash or in-kind transfers to the people, or there are public works programs. So BISP is an example of social assistance, where cash transfers are made to thousands of women in Pakistan, all over Pakistan, so that they can help themselves. Then there is the idea of social insurance. So government provides easy insurance to vulnerable groups. So recently I read about a card given to the people of erstwhile FATA, the people who lived in FATA, which are now merged in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa villages. So they have been given this card, and they can get free medical treatment and hospital stay because of that card. So this is kind of an insurance, so that if they are ill or sick or long term, they have an injury, they can go to the hospital and get treated. So the third one is labor market protection. Government provides skill and unemployment benefits. So ADB also defines social protection in a similar way. It talks about promoting efficient labor markets, diminishing people's exposure to risk, and enhancing their capacity to protect themselves. In social protection, there are two types of mechanism: the informal social protection and the formal social protection. The informal social protection is provided by the individuals or groups, for example, the families, friends, relatives, neighbors, NGOs, and the formal social protection is provided by the government. The Social Protection Authority was established in Punjab in 2015, and it looked at different areas. But before that, the social protection was linked to Zakat, Baitul Mal, BISP, PESI, and EOBI. The Social Protection Authority came up with Khidmat Card. It thought of improving the lot of transgender persons. Initially, it was thought that it was going to consolidate all the different social protection schemes in the Punjab province, but eventually, instead of consolidating, it generated its own different schemes to improve the lot of the people. So social protection is now even more disorganized than before as far as Punjab is concerned.